What is going on, guys? Mike here with Chit Chat Gaming. So today we're going to take a look at a game that may be or may not be out of my element. The reason why I say it may not be is because I do have kids and so forth. But even as just an adult, you may enjoy this game as well here too. So my daughter is a huge fan of the Miraculous TV show, Miraculous. I'm not too sure how it's pronounced. Either way, though, she's a big fan of this TV show. You know, she has the doll, she has the costume, she has the all the different toys and so forth as well here too. The books, the coloring books, you name it, she probably has it. But again, though, she's a huge fan of the show. So when we saw there was a game coming out, we were definitely intrigued and wanted to play it. But then we saw the price tag at $49.99, and I was like, well, Christmas is coming up. She's not huge into video games. She's still rather pretty young. So I'm like, well, we'll have to wait and see here. And we went ahead, though. We actually ended up getting a review copy of the game. Now, the game is available here on pretty much everything: Nintendo Switch, PC, Steam, which we're going to be taking a look at here today, as well as like Xbox and PlayStation as well. So again, out for everything at $50 price tag. I think that might be a little too steep, but we'll talk about that in just a moment here. This isn't going to be a complete review because we're about 2 hours into the game. I think it's like 3.5 hours total, maybe 4 is how long it is. So it seemed like a really long time so far. I'm going to kind of get into that here. So if you're a huge fan of this series, or your kids are, it has all the characters, the superheroes, Ladybug, Cat Noir. It has the villain Hawkmoth. It has all the characters and such, and there is some voiceover as well here too. But however, though, my biggest complaint about this game here, now it isn't, before I get into that, it is an action adventure style game here. Does have some leveling up as well here too. Very, very simplistic for the most part. There is some cutscenes and so forth, but it's a 1 to 2 player game locally, so no online or nothing like that. But again, being at an action adventure game, basically it takes place where you're both either Cat Noir or Ladybug, and you kind of switch back and forth between the two, but you're really just going around the City of Lights and you're fighting enemies, which kind of gets repetitive over and over again. So let's start first with the narration. So the story itself, it's not cuts. It's not actual like voice acting. There's some voice acting in the cutscenes and so forth, but the actual story itself, plays a lot like a Pokemon game and so forth, where it's going to be completely all narrative. And being for children, that probably gets a little repetitive. I noticed my daughter was starting to kind of doze off. We were playing it together. We took turns. So if we see some gameplay here of some really her jumping in one spot or so forth, that it's her probably playing, but I was trying to help her as well too. But again, lots of narrative, lots of talking, lots of text to read. It kind of got a little bit boring. It was the same thing over and over again. I'd say like a few minutes later and so forth, and just kind of like went back and forth that way. And then every once in a while, you would get an actual part where you have some gameplay. Now the gameplay basically is going to be more of a jumping simulator, collecting simulator. You're collecting macaroons, whatever they're called. You're collecting different kinds of like little emblems and stuff, and different kind of gems and so forth, kind of to level up, because you're going to use these orbs, I guess they're called, I should say. You're going to use all these to basically level up each character as well here too. The basic stuff, strength, ability, etc., health. You're going to use that to kind of level up your characters here when you go back to the main town and the square, and visit your home and so forth here. So with that being said, though, that's really all there is to it. It's basically go here, go here, go here, talk to this person, talk to this person. There's an arrow that kind of guides, which is great for kids. It kind of guides people to the right direction and so forth as well here too. Kind of guide your character. It helped her out quite a bit. But really, that's all it is. It's go get this, go fetch that, and then like I said, when you get to the actual gameplay, it's basically like a hack and slash to a degree, but mainly jumping, double jump. There's attack button. There's little small combos, not much. It doesn't really go too in depth. There's some parrying, kind of, where it's more just dashing, but again, though, very, very simplistic, which is good for kids. However, though, I can definitely see where my problem would be with the narrative and kind of the flow of the game here. The cutscenes as well too, with the audio. There's a lot of audio glitches and so forth. Like one stage had me going around basically breaking all these speakers and all these DJ boards, these circuit boards, which kind of got kind of boring and such as well here too. Like it was just kind of like, okay, we're going to jump around on these records. We're going to jump, fight a couple enemies, which are repetitive enemies over and over again. And then we're going to get one major boss at the end, which is really easy to beat, which is good for kids. But again, though, there's no way to adjust the difficulty as well here too. But again, though, it is what it is. It's for $50. I don't really think it's probably quite worth that. I'd say maybe $29.99. $25 roughly. It's not a super long game from what I've heard anyways, and we've gotten into it so far. We're almost there. And then also, like I said, just the narrative, it just kind of gets boring, and the simplicity of the hack and slash. I wish they would have made games like how they used to make them back in the day, where whenever they took a TV, a TV show game or a movie game, they basically took that and they adapted it into a video game, and then make it like how like an action beat 'em up like they did with the Power Rangers on Super Nintendo, with the movie and the TV show, even like the Beavis and Butthead video game, the Wayne's World video game, Flintstones. I mean, you name it, Chippendales. I mean, come on, think about like iconic games like Lion King and Aladdin that we had on the Genesis and Super Nintendo. Why can't they make a game more like that but more modern? If the game would have been nothing but all just gameplay without the narration, or maybe with, I understand they gotta have a story, but maybe have cutscenes and actual like some voice acting or something like that. And I get it, smaller company and so forth, it's gonna happen. It seems to happen a lot with the Game Mill published games as well here too. So again, I would say this game is probably worth it at about $25 if your kids are into the series and they really are a big fan of the actual TV show as well too. They'll really engage with the characters. They'll get into seeing all the cutscenes and so forth, the action scenes. They'll have fun playing the action scenes, going around and fighting these bad guys and so forth, and using their powers, etc. But they're not probably going to understand the whole leveling up and so forth, and they're probably going to get really, really bored with the long narration and kind of going around, running around, talking to people, and just going from point A to point B of nothing, just texting, of nothing, just text and no actual voice acting. So for me, so far, I gotta say, like I said, about $25. But do I recommend it for kids? Absolutely here. It is a pretty fun epic adventure, and it's fun if you are mainly a fan of the show and your kids are a big fan of the show as well too. I had fun sitting with my daughter and helping her out as well here too, and watching her play and kind of playing for her and letting her kind of help me make decisions. There is some decision making. There's some button decisions as well too, like where you gotta push A at a certain time or Y at a certain time, which again is good for kids. It's easy for them, and also helps them with coordination and so forth as well too, with their mind thinking. And there is some small, like I said, some small different kinds of button mashing as well here too and so forth, and some decision making, but not a ton. But again though, guys, let me know down below what you guys think of this. Have you tried it? Are you looking to get this for your kids? I do see a lot of games are going up on sale for Black Friday. I know like the JoJo Siwa game as well here too was like $50. Now I see it for like $25 at GameStop. So again, I got fun. This game is going to be in that market here very, very soon as well here too. So again, sound off below here. Make sure you guys like the video if you choose to. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn that bell notification to keep up to date with all things that is Chit Chat Gaming. And as always, guys, happy gaming.
No more evil doing for you, little Akuma. Time to de-evilize! Gotcha! Bye-bye, little butterfly. Miraculous ladybug!
Hey, what's going on here?